Now in chapter 3, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. And the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I callest not. Lie down again. And he went and lay down, and the Lord called yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son. Lie down again. Now in verse 7, now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time, and he rose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go, lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle. In that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. Now, for I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. Now, this is something where a lot of times people say, "Well, how do you know if it's God?" Well, I don't think that you can actually know it's God until you're a certain age, and then there's this awareness that that the Holy Spirit's speaking to you. Yes. Now, I've had a few of these experiences where I thought maybe, well, actually, I did know it was God. Let's say I did know that I could sue you, and I can have you put in prison. Now, every time I said, well, I'm going to sue you and you're going to prison, you thought that I was just some crazy guy, for what reason I don't know, and that I wouldn't be able to do what I've said. See, when you're suing sheriffs, yes, and each of them has knowledge of a crime. And they said, he can't sue us. And I'm like, yeah, I can. And then you sit there every day for the last 3 years getting emails from me that my rights are being violated. Yes. And you say, well, he can't sue us. And I'm like, yeah, I can. See, there's this idea of the beginning and the end. Yes. Once it starts, it won't stop for 20, 25, 30 years. Now, I'm no Samuel, okay? But I am a little prophetic. I mean, I could prophesy into your personal lives. Let's say you're a police officer, and I say, well, I'm going to sue you. You're going to lose all you own, and your house will never have any property at all. Your heirs and all of those that would have inherited your wealth, yes, they won't get anything. Now, it's not that prophetic to realize that the laws do allow for me to do certain things. Yes. Let's say use forgery to issue court orders. Yes. It doesn't take a prophet to know that if I can prove in a court of law that any of the signatures on any of the court documents are not my actual wife's signatures, I can sue you and I can have you put in prison. Now, as I said, I'm a little prophetic.